Welcome to the Fabulous 413. I'm Glee Smith.
And am I not plugged in?
Where am I? There I am. Here I am. I'm still Monty Belmonte. Woo, it's Friday once again, and it's a double live music Friday kind of day.
So we'll sandwich a quick wine Thunderdome between our musical bread at Provisions with a preview of their upcoming Italian Wine Festival.
Plus the one-man musical army that is Suitcase Junket, who'll put on the fun celebration Sparkletown this Saturday at the Shea Theater in Turners Falls.
And also, there's more music in similar vein in Northampton.
It's double Live Music Friday here in the Fabulous 413, and part one of Live Music Friday is Maddie and Debbie. Comprised of two unique talents coming out of the acoustic music scene, drummer and singer Sean Trishka returns to our studios, as well as bluegrass guitarist singer Stash Weislouch.
Maddie and Debbie are one of the few groups to open for Billy Strings, and as their bio says, Mr. Strings' words are sure to echo in your mind after seeing this couple of rabble-rousing sweethearts. I just effing love these guys.
Yes, we don't even have to bleep it out. Sean and Stash cut their teeth playing together both as sidemen and band leaders in many different bluegrass roots, folk, see now I swore by accident, folk rock formations since 2013. The Deadly Gentlemen, Tony Trishka's Early Roman Kings, the Stash Band, and Corporate Punk, to name just a few.
Satan's Junction is their debut album. It's just been released today. Congratulations. It weaves intimate space and luscious harmonies with bluegrass pickin' and top 40s hooks. It's available on Bandcamp and is streamable everywhere except Spotify. Good job.
Yeah, we appreciated seeing that on the website. Maddie and Debbie playing the Parlor Room in Northampton tomorrow night, but they're going to play for us Live Music Friday here in the studio. Let's hear a song first.
Money hoarders, law and orders, warring over made-up borders. Seems to be that half of us are living off of dimes and quarters. Tax deduction, liposuction, got to where my brain can't function. The hate, the police state, I wait for you at Satan's Junction. Trainers fed no-brainers, Clorox helps get out the stainers, feeding people toxic waste and lies to help them numb the painers. Crooked abstainies, gents and ladies, hand in hand with Richard Cheney. A bush, Macbeth doth push you into Abu Ghraib. Tucked in, fed and until eruption, M16 malfunction. Toto and Dorothy, they click their heels at Satan's Junction. Satan's Junction. Satan, hail me, aren't you tired of being ordinary? I got the cash, I got the mass production. All aboard, next stop is Satan's Junction.
Woo!
Oh, so good!
I want to call this music blackgrass.
I mean,
Has anybody called it that before?
Not yet.
Yes.
You're the first time.
Coined it. It's Maddie and Debbie, Sean Trishka, and Stash Weislouch. It's so metal.
It's so much fun. It is so metal.
And I love it.
Thank you.
So much.
Even the slow arrangements are pretty metal. We were listening to your album, and I got to Montgomery 189, which we're familiar with because we just talked to Tim Erickson last month.
It's a shape note song. We talked
a
about
shape note song.
We talked about that song in particular.
Yeah, but like the way that you really like burst the parts apart is still pretty metal. Like, talk about blending rock into the bluegrass you were already doing.
Stash?
I grew up playing heavy metal, so I grew up.
No.
You didn't learn this?
I
you
grew
live
up
it.
actually here in Massachusetts. I had a good friend, Andy Reiner, who played electric fiddle, and we had basically a fiddle tunes speed metal band. So
Oh my God, yes.
that's how I got into bluegrass, was through the lens of metal. So this is all just kind of,
Are there more black grass bands that I should be looking for besides you guys, Maddie and Debbie?
Yeah, there's some.
The genre
there's
that I
some
just coined
bands out
today?
there,
I mean,
yeah. There's like a group, Stumptail Dolly, that actually
Okay.
they identify as like some version of black grass or like black metal. Something.
I mean, there's a little bit of a keeping the local thing going, a Lou Barlow folk implosion vibe to it, but and then maybe a Trampled by Turtles, which sometimes gets into like a thrash level of playing.
Yeah.
But there's a darkness element on this album called Satan's Junction, and there's other Satan related songs. So I guess Sean Trishka,
Yeah.
talk about Satan.
Well, I love Satan personally. Shout out to my guy Satan. No, I don't have much to say about Satan, but we
Talk about including Satan so prominently on this album.
I'm going to reframe that just a little bit because
Sure.
this whole album definitely listens like the most punk small church service ever. Like, you've got Satan's Junction, you've got Haste Has the Taste of Satan, and then like some of your other songs later, like including the Shape Note singing one, there's still like an interesting sort of pastoral preachy vibe to this. So like, talk about that. And maybe also Satan.
I mean, we both love gospel music, bluegrass gospel. I mean, lots of different kinds of gospel music. You grew up with metal and also got into bluegrass. I grew up with bluegrass and also a little bit of metal and got more into metal through this guy. Yeah, as far as the pastoral energy, I don't know. There's something about us being two acoustic instruments also that I think conveys that, and only being two people. Too, it feels very like, all right, we're just a couple guys in a room, which today we are literally just that. And most days we are just that. But
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's as simple as when I'm listening to bluegrass, the stuff that grabs me the most is the gospel stuff. When I'm listening to vocal music, actually, we got Montgomery 189 from a Tim Erickson album. So, that album blew my mind. I listened to it on repeat. And then you get to a project and you say, I like to play with Sean Trishka. We have to make something happen. I like that song. Let's put it through the lens. Let's see what happens. And I guess it came out pastoral preachy.
But it's great. It is like a hellfire and brimstone kind of thing with emphasis on the hellfire.
Yeah.
Talk about the name Maddie and Debbie. Why did you call yourselves Maddie and Debbie?
We were a trash night at one point, Trishka and Stash. Other groups and events were also trash night, however. So we needed something else. And in the blink of an eye, one night, fateful night, we both had a vision. We woke up the next day. We texted each other, Maddie and Debbie. And there it was.
it really was like that. It's like the Seinfeld episode where Jerry has a dream and he writes down in the middle of the night something, and then he wakes up the next morning. He's like, what is this? I don't even know what this means. And then the whole episode is him trying to figure out what it means. And he figures it out at the end. He's like, well, that's not funny.
Yeah.
But for us, we woke up and we wrote down Maddie and Debbie, and we're like, I guess it doesn't matter what it means. I think this is the band name.
I love it.
So
Talk about crowdfunding this album, because you funded your debut album, Satan's Junction, through Kickstarter, which I think is becoming more and more of an avenue for bands who are looking to raise production funds, because it's not cheap to go and record, mix down, and do all the things for an album and all.
yeah, we did a Kickstarter last year. We were a little conservative, and because we knew we wanted to make the goal, and we've done. Each of us had done our own Kickstarters at various points over the years, over the last 10 years or so, and we know that just like with life, as stressful as it is, it's that 30 days when you're trying to make your goal can be very stressful. So we're like, let's tone that stress down a little bit and make enough so that we won't break our own personal banks, and also essentially we treated it like a pre-order where you get a CD or vinyl or digital download, and the only non-musical thing was a shirt, which is great, and you can buy it on our Bandcamp, by the way. But yeah,
Also, talk about the decision to explicitly not use Spotify as a streaming service. If you go to the website and look at the album, it says available where albums are being streamed, Apple Music, YouTube Music, all these things, but it explicitly says not Spotify.
Yeah. I mean, Spotify it's tough. There was a movement about, I don't know, 6 months ago where artists were taking their music off Spotify. And there have been a number of movements over the since the existence of Spotify where you take the music off because Joe Rogan gets a $20 million deal and artists are getting pennies on the dollar. There's a lot of reasons.
Not even pennies on the dollar.
Well, yeah,
Not
of course. Yeah. Pennies on the penny or something. And so there's loads of reasons to boycott Spotify, and hopefully there'll be a more concerted, more concentrated effort to boycott in a more real way. And obviously there's reasons to boycott Apple, and there's reasons to boycott all of these companies, but at the moment it was, funding War Machine overseas, and we were not down with that. And when we were like, let's submit our stuff.
Hard to have a cover of Dylan's Masters of War and then give over that money to the Masters of War themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, should we hear another song?
We should absolutely hear another song.
Maddie and Debbie, Sean Trishka, and Stash Weislouch are playing at the Parlor Room in Northampton tomorrow night and playing for us for Live Music Friday here in the Fabulous 413. It is their album release day of their album Satan's Junction.
Woo!
Haste has the taste of Satan. Haste has the taste of Satan. Free to decide how we ride. Fast or slow, we all gotta go. Haste has the taste of Satan. Pulling out the driveway with a hardly buttoned up shirt, I make my way to the main drag. Everybody's going to work. It's like this time will be different, like some magic will occur. I swerve a little bit here, I swerve a little bit there. Haste has the taste of Satan. Haste has the taste of Satan. Free to decide how we ride. Fast or slow, we all gotta go. Haste has the taste of Satan. Took a reading challenge back in 23. Said I'd read 10 books every week. The year end came, my bookshelf grew both high and wide. I told the world of my amazing feat, but I'm still empty inside. Haste has the taste of Satan. Free to decide how we ride. Fast or slow, we all gotta go. Church, he should be fixed on God. Instead he's cutting corners, eyes fixed on the clock. And when he finally sits down in his blessed pew of peace, the lector intones like like an accelerated robot text-to-speech. That old subtle foe so tempteth me, takes any chance to exact a feat. Seems he's the architect of quotas and walls of space and time. Yet these are facts we can't deny. Haste has the taste of Satan. Haste has the taste of Satan. Free to decide how we ride. Fast or slow, we all gotta go. Free to decide how we ride. Fast or slow, we all gotta go.
I love it so much.
Woo! I personally feel judged as somebody that listens to my audiobooks at 2 times speed in the car by that particular song from Maddie and Debbie. Their brand new album out today, Satan's Junction. They're playing the Parlor Room in Northampton tomorrow night. Sean Trishka and Stash Weislouch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
so much.
It's so fun to watch you and hear you play, especially because, like, if you look at the list of folks that you've played with, I don't think anyone would expect that.
No, and it's such a fun album. So get it today.
Yes.
That song is "Haste is the Taste of Satan" is going to be stuck in my head all day.
I know, it's Dream Eaters level
Oh
catchy.
my gosh, it's so catchy.
More music coming up with Matt Lorenz, a.k.a. Suitcase Junket, whose annual celebration of and remembrance of his sister Sparkletown is happening at the Shea Theater this weekend.
But first, we head just across from the Parlor Room where Maddie and Debbie will be playing tomorrow night to Provisions in Thorns Marketplace and get a preview of their upcoming Italian Wine Festival in this week's Wine Thunderdome.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Northeast Solar in Hatfield, offering personalized solar energy solutions and ongoing customer care, proudly serving communities throughout the Pioneer Valley. Northeast-solar.com.
The Wine Thunderdome has returned to Provisions Northampton in its new-ish location in Thorns Marketplace. We are across the hall from the store proper, this wonderful counter that it's been so many things over the years. And we're with Bruce McCamus and Benson Hyde. And our friend Wyatt's going to join us as well. Hi, Wyatt. How you doing?
Hello.
Provisions, Amherst, has a big event coming up at the end of the month. It's the Italian Wine Festival.
April 25th from 1 to 5 o'clock. 1 to 2 is our VIP hour. People can pay a little extra to get some extra time with the winemakers and a little less crowded zone and get to taste some extra fun wines.
You always have some shenanigans when the Italians come to town, from what I hear.
Well, it's one of the few times in Western Massachusetts, or it is the only time in Western Massachusetts, that you will get to meet and taste with 18 plus Italian winemakers that have flown over from Italy just to be here for this event.
Provided that their passports don't get stolen at the airport.
Yeah, that's the kind of shenanigans I hear about. Like, there's all
Or they break their leg. There was
Right.
a woman broke her femur, one of the winemakers. Yeah, there's been some exciting times over the years.
Can you think of anybody that you're particularly excited to welcome this time on the 25th?
Oh man, all of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they've become sort of family over the years. But yeah,
Familia,
familia,
as we like to
yes.
say, Benson.
Thank you.
Don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
Both of the producers that we're going to taste today will be there. We have Lorenzo Negro and the folks from La Leccia, Roero in Piedmont, and a Tuscan Chianti producer.
It's been a really fun way to rediscover a region that I was genuinely afraid of for a while.
Why?
So for years, I feel like a lot of what was available for Italian wine was really super tannic, very in your face, very punch your taste buds, and that's not really what I'm into. But like events like this allow you to really experience the broad breadth of what is available and what is doable. And now some of like my go-to labels I found through like this event, so that's really cool.
Which one do you think we should start with, Bruce? You've already starting.
No,
so.
I haven't. I've just had my nose in the glass. What I would probably go with the Nebbiolo.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nebbiolo's
Tends to be a little lighter.
Yeah.
It's light but powerful.
These are both actually pretty light, though. So
They are
like,
both
looking
pretty
at them, they are confused. Usually, Nebbiolo kind of has a Pinot Noir coloration type vibe, or at least nodding to that end.
And oftentimes, Sangiovese is going to have a little bit more color than this. And this is their sort of entry level every day. So it's meant to be a little bit lighter and fresher.
Nice.
It was super fruity at first on the nose, and now it's getting a little more earth.
Tell us about Benson Spitting. That's very responsible of you. Tell us about Lorenzo Negro.
So he is located in the Roero area, which is the region right across from Barolo. There's a river that separates the two.
Roero, your Barolo.
Exactly.
Gently down the stream.
I like it. We should take that on the road.
Merrily.
Yeah. Roero is kind of that like forgotten little brother who works with pretty much the same grapes, but people don't really know it because it's not Barolo, and Barolo is the one that gets all the attention.
Yeah.
They are slightly different in that Roero's soils are more sandy, and actually the shell on the label here is actually from the vineyard, so the vineyards in Roero look a little bit more like ancient seabeds because that's what they were.
Even though they're not that close to the sea right now.
No.
I love that.
I don't know if it's a producer thing or a place type thing, but in my experience, the Roero Nebbiolos often tend to have like a little more of a lifted freshness. Because it's not Barolo, I feel like the producers in the Roero are more comfortable doing like a lighter extraction, more fresh style, and are not trying to get that like really extracted, super tannic thing that the Barolo people are trying to do.
Yeah.
These tannins are doing something real interesting where it's like real aggressive at first, spreads out, and then drops. Like there's nothing.
This producer, Lorenzo Negro, told me how to tell the difference between Barolo and Roero in a blind tasting. Roero oftentimes has a slightly more lifted, peachy quality. It's not something I find easily, but when you do find it, it is prominent.
It's all these blind tasting party tricks that I love.
Yeah.
That's what made me want to get into wine in the first place.
I get a little bit more of like a bruised peach on this particular vintage.
Sometimes I feel like I don't let myself use like white wine type tasting notes on a red wine. You don't hear like peachy in reference to red wine too often, but I don't know if the pros are doing it. It reminds you like it's whatever you smell, it's whatever you taste.
So the first wine that we're tasting is the Lorenzo Negro Roero, and he will be at the Italian Wine Festival at Provisions Amherst on April 25th.
Luckily, with a translator that we have coming from the International Language Institute.
Oh, cool.
Who we are supporting through this event. What they bring is a bunch of people that can speak Italian and help some of the winemakers, like Lorenzo, who does not speak a ton of English.
I have a feeling it's probably one of the International Language Institute's favorite fundraisers, that they get to send their folks out to go and drink wine with people from those countries. And they, of course, are based in Northampton. They teach people all sorts of different languages, and they also are one of the organizations that helps teach immigrants how to speak English and get them on the pathway to citizenship.
We specifically target our money for their free English program.
That's wine number one. What's wine number two?
Wine number two is a Sangiovese from La Leccia. They are...
La Leccia.
La Leccia, yeah. They are...
It's the most breastfeeding of wines.
Oh, wow. There you go.
It reminds me of the April Fool's Day ad that I created for the river so many years ago.
I don't remember that ad.
It was Vermont Cranky.
Vermont Yankee is closed, but have you heard of Vermont Cranky? Vermont Cranky, Leche Bar and Timeout Saloon.
Mommy.
So many attachment parenting moms are tethered to their nurse-on-demand children for a decade or more.
Mommy.
Where can moms go to take a break from their nursing child? Vermont Cranky, Leche Bar and Timeout Saloon, where the bartenders are trained wet nurses, while you relax and stop feeling engorged and start feeling gorgeous. Moms need a place to unwind together after the Leche Leave meeting. Knock it off! O'Doul's, lanolin, sparkling Welch's, breast friend pillows, bar stools, support. And our famous sugar-free breast milk ice cream. Vermont Cranky, now serving placenta.
People thought it was so real that even NEPM's own Jill Kaufman, who is a reporter, called the river and said, I just heard this ad for this place in Vermont. Can you get me in touch with those people? I want to do a story on them. And I was like, check the date. It's April 1st. Anyway.
This is a cool producer and sort of a fun story. Its family took over this farm in Tuscany, and it's a very sort of like integrated farm. So there's a lot of like olive trees and other farming that's happening here. And they basically sold all of their olives and all of their grapes to other producers. And then another family came along and said they wanted to do a contract to have the rights to all the olives and grapes. And a handful of years later, one of their daughters was hiking in the area of the farm and didn't recognize the property, and basically went back and was like, ripped up the contract, and were like, we're taking this back over. The family has reclaimed the property and is now making their own olive oil and wine, and really sort of dedicating themselves to making this, you know, a living property.
Sangiovese is the grape of Chianti.
Everything that they've done, from like their very affordable entry-level wine up to their Reserva Chianti Classico, which is like still a startlingly good deal, and every wine that I've ever had from these guys is gorgeous.
Yeah. If you get a cheaper Chianti, it can be a little brutal, as we were talking about with tannins and the leathers. This one is very fruity and soft and delicious.
Like a pink lemonade thing up front. Like, it's subtle, it still has red and black fruit, but it has that just right up front, like that zippy strawberry lemonade type thing going on.
Hey kid, we've got some lemonade over here. You want to try it? No, we are just in the public space in Thorns. We're not giving wine to any children.
It is also really brambly, like rosemary bark.
One of the things I love about this producer is it's a more sort of rustic, old school, classic Chianti style. So this is like the way Chianti has been traditionally. A lot of Chianti, to your point, has started chasing this more sort of like ripe fruit, oak, trying to appeal to the mass market and the American palate.
Yeah.
And these guys are not doing that. The fruit really shines through, and there's that sort of like rustic tannin, that brambly thing, which is really nice. Makes it a really good food wine.
Thoughts on this one, Bruce?
I like the Leccia. I like it's softer.
Is anybody from the La Leccia coming to the wine festival?
They will be at the wine festival as well. You know, if you come, you'll be able to taste their whole line of fantastic and very affordable, as Wyatt pointed out, wines. I just took a little sniff of the Roero, and it seemed to be opening up a little bit.
Like, now it smells like fruit jellies.
It smells like what?
Fruit jelly, like, you know, like
fruit
fruit jelly, like
fruit leather is one of the biggest Italian wine notes for me personally. Like, if you ever grew up with like fruit roll-ups or things like that, usually not as sweet as fruit roll-ups, but hippie fruit leather that you used to be able to get at a place that used to be in this store right here, Cornucopia. That was a lot of times is an Italian tasting note for me. There's a little more stank coming out of the Roero now too. I'm getting
feeling more amped up, and I like it.
Roaring to go.
Roaring.
A little licorice on there too.
Yeah, the licorice is definitely coming out. And it's black licorice too, not necessarily fruit roll-up licorice. Look who's over there, Burns Maxey.
These wines both have that thing where, like, after you take a sip, there's a lingering tension in your mouth that makes you want to take another sip within like 10 seconds.
That's the tannins probably though, right?
Tannins and acidity, like the acidity makes your mouth water, it gets you salivating, and you want to resolve that tension in your mouth by taking another sip.
Or having a bite of food.
Or having a bite of food, and then you've taken 5 sips, and 5 bites of food really quickly, and the night is getting away from you.
This is going to be a tough decision.
Yeah, I know. I'm struggling here, but I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to think.
I'm going back to the La Leccia.
Yeah.
I like when a family reclaims its territory. Very Italian of them.
Very Italian.
They had a battle of the 5 families.
Rip up that contract.
They had a big sit down. Here's what you get. Nothing.
My offer is this. Nothing.
Hey. If it isn't Smith College Museum of Art's Burns Maxey.
This is work, Burns. This is work.
I love it.
We got to come over to the museum soon.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a wine tasting over there.
Yeah, let's do it.
We could do one of these over at the museum.
Let's do it.
Are we building community right now?
Right now.
Fabulous 413.
What are you drinking today?
Come over here, Burns.
We have Nebbiolo from Roero, producer in Piedmont, and we have Sangiovese from La Leccia in Chianti, Tuscany. Would you like a little taste?
I'm on the clock right now.
You can help us decide.
We're all on the clock.
But next time, at the museum, we'll all be on the clock, right?
Okay.
Let's do
Or
it.
come to the Italian Wine Festival in Amherst at Provisions there.
When is that?
April 25th.
Now it just sounds like we're writing an ad.
Shameless plug.
Good to see y'all.
Good to see you.
This had a poop thing on the nose at the beginning, and then it kind of went away, and now it's back.
Oh, the La Leche?
Yeah.
Male bovine excrement.
I think drinking a lot of natural wine has made my poop tolerance quite high, and this is not registering too much.
Oftentimes what that is reduction, and so if you give it a good swirl, it'll lift off.
What does reduction mean?
Reduction is essentially lack of oxygen in the fermentation process, which it's sulfur, basically. That's what you're smelling.
If only we had the Liquid Jazz Experience decanter here right now.
Wow.
Did you hear about that guy? Or that guy talked to you?
Yeah.
He was on our show last week.
Yeah, we've had him at a couple of events where he's put on a show for customers.
Yeah, he's a hoot.
He is a hoot.
Considerably better than they were when we opened them.
Oh,
Yeah,
five
I
or
agree.
10 minutes ago.
And you're right, Khalees. The poop just continues to emanate from the La Leche. You may be thinking that that's a bad thing, but we say it like it's a good thing.
Lovingly.
It's stellar.
It's the best poop smell ever.
We all love the smell of our own brand.
Wow, no.
Complexity.
Sous-bois?
Sous-bois, yeah.
What is that?
Sous-bois, it's a term that originally came from Bordeaux and is used a lot with Bordeaux and Burgundy. It's like the sort of damp, slightly decomposing forest undergrowth.
Oh, yeah. So is that where we get forest floor from?
Yeah,
Because I hear
exactly.
wine snobs say that all the
Exactly,
time. You say
forest
sous-bois.
Yeah,
Sounds even classier.
Sexier.
Sous-bois pour le derrière.
Wow.
So, Wyatt, you've never officially wine Thunderdomed with us before.
I've never.
Yeah.
No, I'm terrified.
So what we do now is, and it doesn't mean it's your decision for life, it's your decision for now. You have to take one of these two bottles home, both of which will be represented at the Italian Wine Festival at Provisions in North Amherst on Saturday, April 25th, both of whose wines will be represented by the winemakers there, Lorenzo Negro and the Rorero, and La Leche from the family that's reclaimed this property. You have to choose which one you want most now.
Yeah,
But
okay.
because it's your first time, we will make you decide first.
Well, I'll say that right now, I think the La Leche is a little more accessible, but because of that, I'm taking the Lorenzo Negro home because I think that this wine, over the course of, say, a night, would show like a really beautiful evolution. It's changing and evolving, and I want to see what it does.
Wyatt wants to go along for the ride.
I'm along for the ride. And I think that's pretty rare for a wine at this price point, to have something that's so complex and dynamic.
Anybody else ready to vote? Khalees?
Also for the Lorenzo. It's got this really pliable fruit thing, and I'm just really in awe of how the tannins work in this wine, which is something that I haven't really experienced before. They hit and they drop is something that I keep thinking is really cool.
Bruce?
I hate to vote against Lorenzo Negro, but I'm going to go with the Leccia. I am enjoying the Barnyard Sous-Bois.
If you use it 3 times, it's yours. 2 for the Lorenzo Negro and 1 for the La Leche.
I'm having dumplings later tonight.
I hate dumplings.
Do you really?
Just kidding. Can you imagine?
I can't
You
imagine.
want to say that on radio? Wow.
It's a long story. I talked about it on the show on Wednesday. I'm not going to talk about it again.
I feel that for that, the Roero would actually taste better. That said, I'm kind of enjoying the La Leche more right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll choose the La Leche because that's what I want right in this moment. But I'm going to take the Roero, the Lorenzo Negro, home with me.
Benson is taking both bottles home.
Benson has a spouse and a side piece.
So I guess it's up to me because it's tied now.
A true Thunderdome experience.
Yeah, I love both your, Benson, and Wyatt's idea that the Lorenzo is more interesting and intricate, and that the La Leche is more gratifying right now. So do I want to live in the now, or do I want to live for tomorrow? I guess I'm going with La Leche League.
Wow, yes.
Because we're living in the now, we're living in the moment. We may decimate a whole civilization tomorrow, and we may not have time to enjoy the Lorenzo Negro, so we might as well enjoy the wine that we're enjoying right now. The lingering note of the black licorice in the Lorenzo Negro is exciting to look forward to, if there is a tomorrow. So hopefully there's a couple tomorrows, because April 25th, Saturday, is when the Italian Wine Festival is happening for Provisions
Just
North
have to
Amherst.
get through April 25th, and then anything can
It's
happen.
only 2 weeks away, and what could happen in 2 weeks?
Don't ask those questions, we don't want the answers.
Right.
You can get tickets to the upcoming Italian Wine Festival at any of the Provisions locations, North Amherst, Northampton, or Longmeadow, or through their website.
Now, to honor the memory of a much-beloved figure in the local music scene with a banging dance party and those who knew and played with her, we'll hear more about Sparkletown and hear from its organizer, Matt Lorenz, better known to the world as Suitcase Junket.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM. Fabulous 413 is funded by Jones Whitsett Architects, building community through design and civic engagement projects across western and central Massachusetts, now located in Northampton. JonesWhitsett.com.
By The Toy Box, with toys and gifts for infants through grown-ups. Curated to spark creativity and laughter. On North Pleasant Street in Amherst and online at thetoyboxamherst.com.
By PV Squared Solar, commission-free experts helping homes and businesses go solar and power a bright tomorrow. Learn more at pvsquared.coop. And by Greenfield Cooperative Bank, helping local customers, businesses, and communities in Western Massachusetts for over 120 years. More information at greenfieldcoopbank.com. Member FDIC, member DIF.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413. This year marks the third annual concert to celebrate the music and spirit of beloved local musician and teacher Kate Lorenz, who died in the summer of 2022. The event is hosted by her brother Matt Lorenz, the Suitcase Junket, and features a slew of special guests. The show consists of the many songs that Kate wrote and loved, performed by her friends, family, and musical collaborators. This year's show also happens to be on Kate's birthday weekend, and that girl sure loved to party.
Backed by members of her band, The Constellations, and the Rear Defrosters, a Vermont-based honky-tonk band that Kate sang with regularly, the featured guests performed tracks from Kate's catalog, songs they wrote for her, and covers that remind them of her. And with us for Live Music Friday is the person behind the persona and the event, Suitcase Junket, a.k.a. Matt Lorenz. Thank you so much.
Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start out with a song and then we'll chat.
All right.
I want your name with mine on a busted yard sale sign. I want your name with mine on a busted yard sale sign. I want your name on my boat, right above where the waves can't reach. I want your name on my boat. I want love that kind of love. I want your name with mine on a busted yard sale sign. I want your name with mine on a busted yard sale sign. I want your name on my boat, right above where the waves can't reach. I want your name on my boat. I want love that kind of love.
Lynn's, a.k.a. the
guys.
Suitcase Junket. Live Music Friday here in the fabulous 413. Matt and Suitcase Junket, which is all him, really. A one-man band will be part of Sparkletown at the Shea Theater in Turner's Falls tomorrow night.
Talk about the name Sparkletown.
It was actually a festival that Kate and I were planning to put on, like in a small kind of like backyard festival. We were like, I think we might be responsible enough
to do your
put
own
a festival on.
family festival.
No, exactly,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And, we were kicking the idea around. We both, had young kids, and it was COVID. So
Right.
ideas were abound. But, then it was like, we had a great memorial for Kate after she passed away, where a bunch of people got together and hung out and played music. And it was like, I think we could probably pull this off every year. There's enough songs, enough friends, And so maybe someday we'll grow it into something a little bit bigger, because I am a bad organizer. Turns out just musician hat and organizing hat are really different fits.
Yes.
And
that's why artists have managers.
I know. I think so. We've done 3, and I think I've gotten worse at it every year.
No.
There's no way that's possible.
I think because it's been done, it will kind of run itself, and I won't have to do it again. It'll just happen. That's not how it goes.
Well, it's worth noting. So the Sparkletown is a fundraiser for the Kate Lorenz Memorial Community Fund, which has distributed donations of over $15,000 to more than 20 organizations in the last 3 years. So I think you're doing okay.
Oh, that's my dad. That's not me. Yeah. I just wrangle the musicians, Yeah, but no, we do. We raise some money, and they give it to really good causes, and that does feel good.
And
once it's done.
Yeah, the causes are great. There's some Vermont recipients, because this was at the Stone Church in Brattleboro last year. It's returning to the Shea tomorrow. Create Together, a fund for children's scholarships and programs, a Women's Freedom Center in Brattleboro, the Dance Factory in Springfield, Vermont, and then Massachusetts recipients like the Food Bank of Western Mass and the Common School, and IMA, the Institute for Musical Arts, and other organizations like that.
Valley Free Radio.
Valley Free Radio, where Kate had a show, The Vinyl Countdown, perhaps one of the greatest radio show names.
I know.
Yeah.
Every
all
year I'm
time.
like, we should do the theme. We should learn the theme.
Yes.
This isn't the year. Next year.
No, it's okay. You got time. They don't all have to be this year. But is there a favorite song of hers that you love and or like favorite group that you like seeing do her songs?
Yeah, I mean, that one that I just played is one of hers,
Mm-hmm.
and I've watching anyone do that one I really get a kick out of. It was, I think, maybe Caitlin Canty one year, maybe Chris Delmerst one year. They'll both be back, and I think this year it's going to be the Rear to Frosters are going to cover it, which are the Honky Tonk Band headed by Mike Roberts, who he's great. His talents outstrip his ambitions by like a million miles. He was the kind of person who, if he wanted to, go national or whatever, it'd be easy. But he's up in Brattleboro, keeping it real.
And you mentioned Chris Delmerst and Caitlin Canty are part of this. Who else is part of Sparkletown tomorrow evening?
Our first timer is Julia Reed, who lived at the Amity House back when Rusty Bell was getting started. Has a wonderful kind of solo career collection of things. She's in the band Doozy Jane now.
And Rusty Bell was your band with your sister.
Exactly.
And another of the performers who'll be there tomorrow night as
Yes. Zach Trajano has been there both times. He actually can't make it tomorrow due to like last minute health thing, so kind of bummer on that front.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
But we'll carry on with that. It'll be a tighter show.
Will Caitlin carry on?
He'll be back for the next one, and
He will.
that's totally fine.
He will.
This is a question, not about Sparkletown at all. Are you ever going to record the If Your Mom's Dad's Bald song?
I think we have to.
I
Right?
think you have to.
We brought this up last time you were on here, and I think about this song a lot. It was a Rusty Bell song, and the chorus was, if your mom's dad's bald, then you're going to be bald.
Yeah.
And it was never recorded.
Kind of a taunting chant sort of
At me.
song. It
felt very
did feel
personal.
Directionalized to any shiny domes in the audience.
Yeah. Although now that my children are getting into their teens, their grandfather was not so bald, but I see receding hairlines.
It ain't all male
It ain't
pattern.
all your mom's dad bald being bald.
I hope so. I keep digging through CDs and like the sort of Rusty Bell archives for which is just piles of stuff, and hoping that I'll find. I know we must have a demo somewhere.
It's got to be. I mean, I saw it on the Rendezvous right around the corner. That was where I distinctly remember hearing it for the first time and thinking, this song
Mixed
is too
emotions.
catchy and makes me very angry.
I know.
No, it's really good. It was great. But we also evoked your name a week and a half ago when we had Alash, the Tuvan throat singers, on here because they are their musical tradition is the overtone singing, which you have incorporated very well into Suitcase Junket, to the point where the first musical guest this Live Music Friday, Khalees and I were imagining, wouldn't it be cool if we brought Matt in here to overtone sing with them?
I've been having the same, we play a lot of the same venues. I'm like, I got to hang out with these guys. And I first started overtone singing at a time where I was making a bunch of my own instruments when I was at Hampshire College. And like a broomstick with a can and a little, connect like a piece of hardware to connect the string to the can so it's resonating like a one-string fiddle. And then, so I'm like doing that and overtone singing kind of like in my own little world. And then someone introduces me to Genghis Blues and Paul Pena, and I look into it. And then it turns out that a lot of their instruments are like that.
Yeah. They brought
one
with them when they were here.
Yeah, we were making a comment that like the stringed instrument they were playing looked a lot like a cigar box banjo.
Yeah, it was this really funny thing where I was like, what is happening? Did I like open a wormhole between here and Mongolia by accident?
I think it's amazing.
Yes, you did.
But you do, when you see you perform live, there's all sorts of contraptions that you usually play with.
Yeah,
Pretty, it's
that's
just
true.
an amp and a guitar today, but a lot of times there's like a
gotten
sawzall,
lazy.
a saw blade with a drum pedal on it,
It's
making all
true,
these clinks and
cans
clanks.
and a
But
baby
not
shoe
so
and-
much the suitcase anymore.
The suitcase is still the bass drum sound.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still the sort of everything fits inside of it. I'm actually bringing it. The last couple Sparkle Towns, I kind of just played the guitar. This time for the first set, because the great Don McCauley, one of Kate's drummers, is recording a record with some famous people. So you can,
should we say who it is?
Are we allowed to?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna. It's
Anyway,
you too.
Right. The only reason you wonder is because he's like, I'll be in Ireland with those Irish fellows.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Or he'll send me their EP and be like,
I gotta go do this thing with those
Yeah.
guys in Nashville for a week. I'll be back.
yeah, you
it's
might have
fine.
heard of them.
I might miss it.
Yeah, so I'll be doing the junket sort of drum back up with Kate's, the rest of Kate's band.
Oh,
for the
that's
first
fun.
set, and
That's
special
great. So
guests.
you're the drummer this time, kind of.
Yeah,
That's going to be great. Well, we're as we thought we might happen. We chatted too much, and we might run out of time. So let's hear another song from Matt Lorenz, aka Suitcase. Do we have a quick question?
Quick question. Do you find new Rusty Bell songs to perform at Sparkletown each year?
There's a couple that we do every time. There's a couple that are new. So there'll be a new one this year.
Cool.
This is one that we've done. It's like it's a nice little sort of set closer kind of tune that Kate used to sing and love. And
nice.
Awesome.
Well, tell me what I'm supposed to do to get myself really close to you when all I want is to be in your arms tonight. It's getting late, the moon is set, and I can't wait to get into the bed. And all I want is to be in your arms tonight. North Carolina's far away, and this song ain't fit for radio play. I begged at least 6 or 7 DJs to send this tune out to you, but they will not listen to my pleas. So please keep an ear out for me. Oh, please keep an ear out for me. Yeah, please keep an ear out for me. For me, for only me. Well, tell me what I have to do to get myself really close to you, and all I want is to be in your arms tonight. 'Cause I am stuck in a winter's cold. Oh, my body's tired and my feet are cold, and all I want is to be in your arms tonight. North Carolina they will not listen to my pleas. So please keep an ear out for me. Please keep an ear out for me. Oh, please keep an ear out for me. Yeah, for me, for only me.
Matt Lorenz, the Suitcase
awesome.
Junket, the man behind Sparkle Town, in honor of his sister who passed away far too young a few years ago. It is a benefit celebration of Kate Lorenz and her music, and the money will go to support lots of great local organizations. I'm lucky enough to have been invited by you and your family to be a part of it at the Shea Theater in Turner's tomorrow night.
I am. Don't point at me.
If you wanted anything else to say in our last 10 seconds, I would given you that opportunity.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Kate.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kate. Come wearing something sparkly. It really is a really, really fun celebration. And on Monday, we'll celebrate again 413 Day. We're going to have a special 413 Day show with trivia from Chris Bigelow of Cloud9 Productions, and the Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll and bird expert David Sibley will join us.
We'll have a couple of drag stories, a couple of goat stories, and a lot more happening next week on the Fabulous 413. I'm Khalees Smith.
I'm Monty Belmonte. We'll see you next week on
Have
the Fabulous
a good
413.
weekend.